Patrick Christie's reporting for Westmonster. I'm joined outside Parliament today by UKIP Leader Henry Bolton. Henry, it's fair to say that you've been through the mill a little bit recently with various reports coming out about your private life. What's it been like going from relative political anonymity to having these reports thrown at you left, right and centre?
Yeah, through the mill a bit, yeah. A bit bruised and battered by it all. No, I think the thing is, Patrick, that you know, when I went into this, I knew that I was going to be in the public eye. But this coverage that we've had recently is pretty unprecedented. And I think what it represents is not only an infringement into our own private lives, but also an attempt by the left-wing media in particular to try and attack the party through me and attack my credibility. Well, you know what? It's not worked. I'm getting a lot of emails and messages of support, and I have no doubt that I'm going to come out of this as Jo and I are as a couple stronger than we went into it. It's been a battering experience, but that's what you get if you're a national politician. I take that on the chin. But yeah, I'll be glad to emerge from the other side and just get on with the stuff.
I have to ask, just because you've alluded to it just then as well, what is the current state of play with yourself and Jo Marney? Are you guys together now? You're a couple, I take it?
It's a serious relationship.
Okay, and so I've taken you can infer from that your marriage is over, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And obviously we've seen reports...
I should say, for a variety of reasons, and actually, if I may use this opportunity to put the record straight.
Absolutely.
A little bit. This is... my marriage has been in a difficult situation for some years, and indeed before, let's be very clear about this, before the relationship between Jo and I started, we'd got serious problems in the marriage, and I had already told my wife that as far as I was concerned, that was it, I'd had enough. So that had already happened before the relationship between Jo and I started.
So that's, I think, important for you to get across, because obviously we've seen some reports that have tried to contradict that in the media recently. Obviously, with all these reports going around, how damaging do you feel, if at all, has it been maybe to your reputation or to the party as a whole?
You know, there are two ways of looking at this. One is that a lot of people looked at me and still look at me, incidentally, as being you know, somebody of integrity. I still am. I mean, my whole life has been built around doing the right thing, and indeed that I'm still doing the right thing. I'm following my heart here. I understand that the publicity is perceived by some people as being negative, but you know what, there is an expression, any publicity is good publicity. It has raised the profile of the party, and what we now need to do is turn that around so this becomes an opportunity for us rather than simply some sort of negative backdrop. And actually, I'm already working on that, as is the team around me. So.
There have been, as I'm sure you're aware, there have been claims from some people within the party after these reports broke that you should maybe consider your position. Is that something that's crossed your mind at all? Are you still in it for the long haul?
I said when I was in the leadership contest and after I was elected that, to be quite honest, I didn't need the leadership in my life. I spent my entire working life serving my country in the army, in the police, and in international diplomacy. And I came into this because I felt that I was the best candidate for the job. It is an important job, not just for the party, but for the country. We've got to take things forward with Brexit, but through Brexit and beyond. If this country is going to be prosperous, secure, optimistic, hopeful going forward, then UKIP has to have a voice. That means it's got to reorganise, it's got to sort out its finances, its recruitment, its campaigning, its policies. And those are the agendas that I'm working on at the moment. And that's critical stuff. So I'm doing this not because I need it in my life or I've got some huge ego, but because it is so important for us all to get it right.
Moving on from those reports that we've just spoken about there, which have maybe overshadowed some of the work you've been doing as party leader, what can people expect from Henry Bolton's UKIP in 2018?
Increased mobilisation. We've got the May elections coming up, so we've got to get our policies in place, we've got to provide the support to the branches, so we've got to mobilise our national capability, if you like, which is limited at the moment. To be able to support that, to provide the national mood music so that local campaigning has actually got a backdrop that supports it. That's the first thing. But concurrent to that is raising the funds available to the party, sorting out the internal So a lot of this won't be seen by the members directly or by the public. But if we're going to go forward, I have to sort out, and I have to a very great degree sorted out the funding of the party. Fixed the leaking holes in the bucket, cut back on costs, brought money in. Our finances now are in a much better state than they were before I came into the leadership. Recruitment. I'm putting together a recruitment working group so we can develop a national recruitment campaign. And it's interesting, before Christmas I went around all the regions of the country and met with hundreds of members, and sometimes I was on my feet for 4-6 hours talking to people, to large groups of people, Q&A and so on. In that process I asked people, how many of you joined the party because you proactively approached the party? And I would say somewhere around 98%, in a show of hands, in every meeting, said that they proactively approached the party. What I'm saying here is that this party has never really launched a recruitment drive. So getting that going. Policy working groups. Members in the next 2 weeks are going to receive an email from myself asking them to submit CVs, biographies and a letter of justification as to why they may be able to offer subject matter expertise to add to the quality of our party's policies. I will then be working with the spokesman concerned and with my deputies to select 10 or 12 people in each policy working area in order to invite them then to create a forum to support policy in that area. So you see there's a lot of things going on, so you see all that being put in place. The ultimate delivery point, coming a bit later in the year once that's producing, is going to be about policies and getting the whole thing mobilised.
And just lastly really, if
projecting our politics.
Yeah, just lastly really, for people that maybe within the party who've been slightly concerned perhaps about the media attention that they've seen recently, have you got a message to them? Would you like to look down the camera and address them maybe directly and just to put your case across as to why you should really be trusted to carry on with the job, I suppose? Yeah,
because I'm exactly the same person as you elected as leader. I haven't changed in any respect. My private life has changed. That's actually been a long time in the mix, and I am absolutely, I've just been talking about some of the things that I'm doing. I'm absolutely 100% dedicated to sticking with the agenda that I've already created and driving it forward, and that's where we're going. You know, if I were to, as some people have suggested, if I was to step down in any respect, then all of that goes on hold. Our internal communications development and our new technology strategy, new email system, new newsletters, the whole raft of things, that's all just going to stop. And I'm determined to carry on taking it forward, because that's the only way this party is going to have an opportunity to enter that debate on Brexit and what happens after Brexit. And we are the only party that can do that.
Henry Bolton, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Patrick.